y'all, it's Betsy, and today we have a fun video. We're going to be going over all the purchases I made at the the International Festival of Quilts in Houston, as well as the Nutcracker Market and a trip to the Woodlands Mall. So I've got some fun craft projects, new makeup, new clothes, just a weird and wild variety of things. Now, the first thing that I picked up, and this is cork, and it is leopard print cork. I thought this would make some adorable of those leatherette earrings, so I purchased this at the quilt show, and this is by Fabric Funhouse. I also picked up, which we already rolled the yarn. This is from Knit Picks, and I picked up this black variegated yarn. It's black and silver, and then it variegates into some pastel white, pink, green, so it was very cool. And then I also got the Knit Picks, the Options 4 Square Interchangeable Needle Set. I do not knit, but I'm trying to learn, so I bought a set of knitting needles, and these are supposed to be really good. And I also picked them because look how pretty that is. That wood is so, so cute. So I picked that up. We rolled the ball, so we've done something with it, so hopefully I'll actually finish a knitting project, because Lord knows I don't finish a whole lot of them. So that stuff came from the quilt show. What else came from the quilt show? I also picked up, this is Hot Fix adhesive. This is for fabric. So you adhere it to your fabric and then cut it, and then you can apply it to different things. And it's a lot thinner than the, what is the stuff called that I buy? The fabric fusible web or whatever that you use that you can buy at Hobby Lobby. This was really thin, so I wanted to play with it and try it out. So we shall see. Then I went to another place, and I will see if I can link them in the description box down below. These kits, they already have the adhesive on here, but it's like paint by numbers, but it's beads. And I figured this would be something super fun to do on camera, and it just seemed relaxing, and it actually seemed like a project I can finish. Because like the knitting stuff, I purchased it. I don't know if I'll actually ever use it, but everybody else, all the women in my family knit besides me, so I was like, well, I need to learn. But it's not something I'm very good at, because one thing, every other woman in my family is righty, except for Mary, my mother-in-law. She's a lefty, but she knits right-handed. So having someone teach me whenever everything is backwards is very, very difficult. I also picked up a new cup at Starbucks. Isn't that pretty? So I got that. It's black and gold glitter, which our team around here for our high school football team is black and gold. Let's see what else I picked up from the quilt show first. What is this? Oh, that's jewelry. And then I also picked up a ton of buttons. Buttons are, I love working with buttons for different projects. So we have a ton of buttons, and we got 2 separate color sets. They're both really pretty, but they're both really different. So I'm gonna have some fun with that. Let's get that out of the way. Next, we will go to what we purchased at the Nutcracker Market. Now, one of the things I purchased, one of the first things I purchased, no, it wasn't the first thing I purchased. Actually, the first thing I purchased was this dress. And I was like, oh my goodness, I am in love with this color. And they had a booth called the Royal Standard. Look at that color. And it's like a suede material. And it's a sleeveless dress, but I figured it would be super cute for spring or even for fall. I grabbed that from there. New hair ties. The dress was $32. The hair ties were $1 a pack. I also picked up this dress from there. It's a one size fits all, so I have no idea if it'll actually fit me or not, but it's just a navy long sleeve swing dress, which is like my favorite style of dress to wear. I also picked up some socks, and these were $5. They're Christmas socks because y'all know I love me some Christmas. Oh, I also picked this up when I was at the quilt show. This ring, it was 30 bucks, and it is sterling silver and cubic zirconia. It is not real, but let me tell you the story of what happened at the quilt show. So my Lyrica that I take for my fibromyalgia makes me swell really badly. Typically I wear like a 6 in a ring. This is an 8 and it's tight. So I was wearing my real engagement ring and wedding band, and my hands were swollen. Not to the point of my ring was cutting off circulation, but to the point of it was just uncomfortable, but I didn't want to keep messing with it because I didn't want it to get to the point where it was swelling, where it was cutting off circulation. Because as I said, the Lyrica makes me swell really bad, and then just whenever you're up and moving, and I don't know, my joints tend to swell when I'm like walking too much. Maybe it's just me. But so anyways, it was swollen. Long story short, we went to Papacita's, which is across the road from the George R. Brown, which is where the quilt show's held, and we went and sat outside and we were waiting for our table. I got stung by a bee on the same hand, just a different finger. I'm not sure if you can see that. If my bee sting will show. There we go. So that finger started to swell, and then it also made my hand swell everywhere else worse. So my hand where my wedding ring was, it was starting to cut off circulation at that point. I mean, my hand was so swollen, like a size 8 ring was tight on the lower part of any of my fingers. So we had to go find the EMT and get my wedding ring cut off, which is why my hand is all tore up from getting my ring cut off. But I needed to get it sized anyway because it was getting a little tight, especially since I'm stay swollen all of the time. But just so you know, if it ever happens, find the EMTs out at like the quilt show or whatever. They have a ring cutter offer, or it's like a, I guess it's exactly what it is. But I had bought this before I even had to do that because I was like, oh, that's pretty, and it's something I can wear when my hands are swollen. So it still shows that I'm married, because I bought the silicone ones that I'm wearing right now for when I work out, but I still want something pretty when I'm not working out, so I bought that. But I'm still very hesitant to have any rings on this finger right now because it's a sore subject. But I mean, as I said, I need to get it sized anyway, but it still bugs me. So I picked up those things, and I actually picked up a few other things at the Royal Standard, some suede leggings that are made out of the same material that dress is, as well as a pink knot top, which I really love. My mother-in-law got a bunch of scarves because they had them for $3. Then what's hot was another booth we went to, and if you know to look, they have a lot of booths that have jewelry that isn't super expensive, that is really pretty. And I picked up this necklace and earring set, which I really loved these colors because it goes with a lot of things that I would wear for fall. Plus, it's simple and dainty, and the earrings are not super heavy. So I picked that up, and it was $15.95. If you ever had a chance to go to the quilt, or not the quilt market, the quilt show, the Nutcracker market, it is really cool, but it is crazy because there are so many people jam-packed in there. It's at the same place. It's at NRG Center, which is, or NRG Stadium, which is where they do the rodeo, and that's where the Texans play, of course. And if you've ever been to the Houston Rodeo, you know that the shopping area takes up maybe half of that building. Well, because they have all the cattle and horses and all the things, show animals, so it doesn't take up the entire area. Plus they actually have a lot of vendors who have big things like trucks and trailers and things like that, so it's a different kind of thing. It doesn't feel so, but this is all clothes and home goods and jewelry and all that kind of stuff, and it's fun. But if you don't like being around a lot of people and can start to feel claustrophobic, I would definitely recommend staying away from that one. Then we went to this booth, and I got suckered into it. I bought the Beautiful Brows and Lashes Professional Duo. It comes with 2 brow powders, brow stencils, brushes, and a highlight shade. They actually look really good on, but I spent a lot of money on that, probably more than what I should, but it is what it is. Then I also went to Sephora because last weekend was their VIB sale, their Rouge sale, and this weekend was just the regular VIB, and I didn't get to go last weekend. So I took advantage of it this week. So I picked up 2 new palettes. I picked up the New Nude from Huda Beauty, which is what I have on my eyes. I adore this palette, absolutely love it. And these pearly shades that are in here, they're gorgeous. And then I had to continue with my green obsession, so I picked up the Emerald Obsessions palette, the green palette, these minis, and I absolutely adore the greens. And I was like, oh, that's perfect for Christmas, because we are gonna go super festive. Then yesterday we hit up Ulta because my skin is so darn dry because we actually have cold weather. And I picked up the Wet n Wild Cushion Foundation. It's what I have on my face right now so far. I'm liking it. I also picked up the Smashbox 24-Hour Studio Skin, the hydrating one, because my skin is so darn dry. I also picked up the Flower Beauty Supernova Celestial Skin Elixir. It is like a face oil, and this is really good. We're gonna see though. And they had my favorite lashes on sale, but they only had 1 pack left. So we only have 1 of those. And then last but not least, this is one thing. I found this basket, which I absolutely adore. HEB, 10 bucks. But, so those are the things that I purchased at the Houston Quilt Show and Market. If you're interested in seeing more videos like this, don't forget to give this a big thumbs up. Don't forget to check me out on all my social medias, Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram, as well as my main channel, which is just Cuttin Corners Vinyl. So I guess that's it, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.